Silence is not an absence, it's a presence, a profound opportunity to listen not just to the world, but to ourselves. In our busy, noisy lives, we're constantly inundated with external demands, expectations, and distractions. The voices of society, work, family, and even our own inner critic can drown out what truly matters. But when we choose silence, we create a space to hear what's underneath all that noise. In those quiet moments, clarity emerges. It's like a fog lifting, revealing what's been there all along: our authentic thoughts, desires, and fears. Silence allows us to reconnect with what we value most. It's a pause button for the chaos, giving us time to process, reflect, and realign with our purpose. But silence isn't always comfortable. It often confronts us with truths we'd rather ignore. It challenges us to sit with uncertainty and resist the urge to fill the void, yet that's where its power lies. In embracing the discomfort of silence, we open ourselves to insight and wisdom that can't be accessed through constant action or chatter. Silence doesn't demand answers immediately, it creates the conditions for them to arrive naturally in their own time. In a world that celebrates strength and certainty, vulnerability often feels like a risk too great to take. Yet it is in the quiet moments when we strip away distractions and facades that vulnerability finds its home. Silence creates a safe space for us to confront the truths we hide, even from ourselves. It's where we meet our fears, insecurities, and desires without the judgment of others or the pressure to perform. When we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we are no longer masking our emotions with words or actions. This rawness is vulnerability in its truest form, acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, that we might be scared or uncertain, and that we are human. In the quiet, we give ourselves permission to feel, to be real, and to process what lies beneath the surface. This kind of vulnerability is powerful because it fosters connection not just with others, but with ourselves. It's an act of courage to let silence expose what we usually keep hidden. But in doing so, we create room for growth, healing, and authenticity. Vulnerability in the quiet is not weakness, it's the foundation for a stronger, more wholehearted life. Silence can be a powerful yet challenging space, one that invites us to confront the emotions we often push aside. In our fast-paced lives, distractions become a shield against discomfort. But silence strips away those layers, leaving us face to face with our inner selves. This process isn't easy, but it's in these moments of stillness that emotional resilience begins to take root. When we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we create room to acknowledge and process difficult emotions. Grief, fear, disappointment, or shame often surface in the quiet, and though it may feel overwhelming, this confrontation is essential for growth. Rather than running from our emotions or numbing them, silence teaches us to accept and coexist with them, building our capacity to endure and recover. Emotional resilience doesn't mean avoiding challenges, it means developing the strength to move through them with grace. Silence becomes a practice ground for this strength, a safe space to experience discomfort, reflect on our responses, and ultimately find a path forward. Over time, the stillness equips us with tools to navigate life's uncertainties, not by suppressing our emotions, but by understanding and integrating them into our journey. Through silence, we discover that resilience is less about resistance and more about presence. Connection, at its core, is about authenticity and presence. Yet in our effort to connect with others, we often fall into the trap of forcing conversations, trying too hard to impress, or overthinking our interactions. This can create a sense of strain rather than the ease we're seeking. Silence, paradoxically, offers the key to genuine connection because it allows space for relationships to unfold naturally. When we stop forcing connection, we begin to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. Silence teaches us the art of being present, of truly hearing what others are saying and even what they're not. It shifts the focus from what we feel we need to say to simply holding space for someone else. In these quiet moments, trust and understanding grow organically. Silence also removes the pressure to perform. Instead of crafting perfect words or responses, we allow our true selves to emerge. This vulnerability invites others to do the same, creating a bond rooted in authenticity. Connection doesn't require grand gestures or constant talking, it flourishes in the unspoken moments of shared presence. When we stop chasing connection and allow it to happen naturally, it often becomes stronger, deeper, and more meaningful. In a world that glorifies constant activity and control, the idea of trusting the process can feel counterintuitive. We're conditioned to believe that success and happiness come only through relentless effort, planning, and intervention. But sometimes life's most meaningful outcomes arise not from force, but from surrender. In stillness, we discover the profound truth that life has its own rhythm, and when we stop trying to control everything, what's meant for us often finds its way to us. Stillness invites patience and humility. It teaches us to embrace uncertainty without demanding immediate answers. Just as seeds grow beneath the surface long before we see their first sprout, life's processes often unfold in unseen ways. By trusting this natural flow, we learn to let go of the anxiety that comes with trying to predict or manipulate every outcome. This doesn't mean passivity, it means aligning our actions with a deeper sense of trust. It's about showing up, doing our best, and then releasing the outcome, knowing that what's meant to be will unfold in its own time. Stillness allows us to notice the signs, opportunities, and connections that might have been missed in the chaos. In trusting the process, we create space for life to surprise us in beautiful, unexpected ways.